This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Raquel Johnson.
Hello and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast, Buffalo. Are you in need of a dry eye specialist? Well, one might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Dr. Melissa Neal, with 2020 Eyecare and Aesthetic Medicine. How are you today, Dr. Neal?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, we're excited to learn all about you and your business. So can you tell us a little bit about your company?
So we have been in business since 2009, and I'm a little bit different than most of your eye care professionals. So because I specialize in dry eye and I also do aesthetics at my practice.
Nice. So how did you get into specifically aesthetics as an eye doctor? How did that happen?
A lot of people ask that question. So I trained at the University of Michigan, and as part of our training, people don't know this, but ophthalmologists, we get a lot of oculoplastics, so upper and lower lid blephs. We do Botox for blepharospasm. And I'm telling my age. So back in 2003, Botox wasn't really well known about. So when I was doing my training, I was like, why aren't we doing this for both aesthetics and for functional? And they thought I was crazy. Fast forward 15 years later, it's definitely more accepted, more people are doing it. And so because ophthalmology really specializes in treating the eye as well as the beauty of the eye and the function and the shape, we get a lot of that training, and therefore it kind of translates that you start doing aesthetics.
Interesting. So what are some of the myths or misconceptions within your industry? I feel like you're kind of touching on it already. I wouldn't have thought to go to an eye doctor for the aesthetics part as well.
Okay. So I guess the myths are basically people don't understand the difference between an ophthalmologist or an optometrist. So ophthalmologists, we go to medical school. We have to do 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and then we do an additional 4 years of residency. So we actually are MDs, whereas optometrists, they do 4 years of college and then do 4 years of OD school. So it's different. They're doctors of optometry, whereas an ophthalmologist is trained and can do pretty much all kinds of things. So you have to do your primary training. So you may learn about skin. You may do other kinds of training before you go into ophthalmology. So it's just a difference between that. So you can do most anything as long as you're trained and you get the skills to do it.
Interesting. So we know that marketing is at the heart of every business. So who are your target customers and what are you doing to attract them?
Okay, so my target customer are, busy professional people, women who are perimenopausal or menopausal, who are starting to experience, dry eye and other kind of issues with their eyes. My clients are also like younger people who have visually intensive jobs. For example, if they are on the computer, if they like to read a lot, those kind of things are going to tax the eye, and they're actually going more likely to have dry eye than someone who doesn't have a visually significant job.
So this is quite fascinating, to be honest. Have you thought about having like a podcast or anything where you're sharing some of these insights? Or
so that's kind of funny that you say that. So I actually am one of the doctors of Healing with Her, which is a podcast. It is 7 doctors, and we all have different specialties, and we do share this kind of knowledge about our various specialties on our podcast. But yeah, I haven't thought about doing a podcast just myself. I share my knowledge as part of that podcast.
Oh, awesome. Well, outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
I love to garden. I love to go out to eat. I actually also am in love with buffalo. So I love to find unique activities around buffalo and just go and explore. So like by bicycle, it's just I'm not from here. I'm originally from Texas and I moved here in I believe it was 2008, 2009. And after being here for a couple of months, I was like, I'm never leaving. I love Buffalo. So
And the
even
winter didn't run you away?
you say?
Winter didn't run you away at all?
No. You know what? I grew up in Texas, but I love the seasons. I love the seasons here. I even love the cold because my friend and I do this thing where we do this cold walk. So we walk from our homes and we go to the JCC and we sauna and then we walk home. So that's we kind of do something like they do in Sweden, you know. You gotta embrace Buffalo. And if you embrace it, you will love it. And that's what I've done.
So, Dr. Neal, can you please tell our listeners one thing that they should remember about your business?
Okay, so one thing you should remember about my business is that we are the premier place to come in Buffalo for dry eye. And I treat dry eye very different than a lot of people. And I'm going to spend time with you and you're going to be listened to. And we're going to come up with a solution together, no longer how long it takes.
Well, how can our listeners, if they want to come in, get some aesthetic work done around their eyes, or they have some dry eyes, what's the best way for them to book with you?
So the best way to book with us, we have a link on our website. And so they can just say, make an appointment. But I'm also on Instagram. You can DM me there, or you can text our office, or our same phone number can receive text. So you can text our office and then we will text you back.
Okay, perfect. Well, Dr. Neal, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and your business the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpbuffalo.com. That's gnpbuffalo.com. Or call 716-995-4421.